Power in politics comes from the individual feeling of inefficiency. I'm going to show you this. It's not a part of your module. I mean, if you guys are going into psychology ever, you'll probably learn about this. This is a window. Okay? And this window is called the Johari window. Anybody know about this? They say that everybody's personality has got these 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Okay? There is an open side, there is a closed side, there is a blind side, and there is a dark side. So ladies and gentlemen, when you go into office, oops, sorry, whatever happened. So there is an open side, there is a closed side, there is a blind side, and there is a dark side. Every single one of us in this room has it. The open side of your personality is something that you know about yourself, and also others know about it. Okay? The closed side of your personality is something that others don't know about you, but you know about it. That you do not want to share because you probably feel vulnerable to share or talk about it. That part of your personality. Now the blind side of your personality is neither you know about it nor others know about it. Okay? Now this side comes out when you are in extreme crisis, when you are put in to do something that you have never done before. There is an accident, there is an emergency, you are faced with a new challenge, new work, okay, which you have to do. It's a do or die kind of a situation. Then the blind side comes to surface. Now the dark side is dark. It doesn't come back. Okay? Scientists are still trying to research on it to find out how to bring out the dark side of a person. It doesn't come out. Now when I talk about the power in politics, you have to understand these three part of the windows, that is the open, closed, and blind. Just close your eyes and think about your organization. You know there are people who are political. Every organization has it. Who play politics. You know directly that, okay, some people play politics, like Khalida is political, open side. Okay? Now, it's not just knowing who plays the politics, but you also, as leaders, I'm not using manager anymore, as leaders, as mentors, you also have to know who can play politics, which is there in the blind side. Okay? Which means you have to dive into the personality of the person which you don't know of. And you can find this out, ladies and gentlemen, through several psychometric tools which are available in the market. Psychometric tools like MBTI, Myers-Briggs Temperament Indicator, MBTI, or Belbin, especially in a team role, BELBIN. Okay? I have a copy of Belbin with me. If you want it, I can share it with you.
What does it stand for?
Belbin. That's the name of the person who designed it. Okay?
And what does it do?
It finds out your role in a team.
Okay.
Okay, there are about 9 different roles. Plant, performer coordinators, managers, comprehenders, finishers. It's a detailed thing. You can Google it. Google has everything nowadays. So you can Google it and find out. So you will find out who is a plant in my team, who is a completer finisher in my team, who's a reviewer in my team, who's a team worker in my team. You can find that out from that psychometric test. Or you can find out about the blind side of your team, sorry, the close side of your team when you give them situations, especially about steep targets, especially about new policies that has happened, especially about changes. You will find some people are talking. Okay, you can keep your ears and eyes open, you'll know. And you will know more when you talk to people, as in how they are reacting to your team, to your department. As leaders, I am deleting the word managers henceforth for the remaining modules, the topics that I'm going to cover. As leaders, you will eradicate, you will delete, Control, Alt, Del. You will delete politics from your department or your team if you can address the insecurities of that person. Politics comes from insecurity. Insecurity of what? Will my job be safe? Will I get the new promotion? Will I get the bonus? Okay? Will I be important? Everybody has this desire to be important. Okay? There is something called ADD. Are you aware of this? Attention Deficit Syndrome. Attention disorder I would not use in terms of organization. ADS, sorry. ADD is terms of for people, kids, but ADS. Attention Deficiency Syndrome. Some people, once you do your Belbin, you will find out the people who want more attention. It might not be the bonus or the promotion. They just want attention. They just want you to continue to tell them, good job, mate. Super. You're there. You're the man. That's all they want. That's all they want. And just by knowing that, you can give him that as well. Power and politics. This is going to be there in your part A of your question. Okay? You might get one small question about power and politics. Explain why power and politics are central features in the organization. They will talk about a lot of things in the slides, but I would want you to focus on that window that I have drawn there. Detail the key dimensions of power and how they operate. Review the advantages of staff empowerment and the strategies to achieve it. Staff empowerment. I mean, there used to be a lot of these movies, like old Hollywood, like Where Eagles Dare, Five-Man Army, The Magnificent Seven. Have anybody seen these movies? Yeah? Now, The Magnificent Seven, you can actually, you can see it on Google, YouTube. The Magnificent Seven is an excellent example of the advantages of staff empowerment. To tell you the story of this movie in bracket, okay, there was a certain objective to be achieved during World War, to capture a key position in the German front, okay, and it was like a suicide mission. To do that, I mean, the army was not ready to do it. To do that, I mean, it's death, it's sure death. So this major, he was asked to recruit 7 people from the jail, and people who have got death sentence, capital punishment. Okay? So he selected 7 people who were sentenced to die for this mission. And he went ahead and achieved that mission. This movie will talk about empowerment, how delegation happens. Delegation happens to people who have been branded the scum of the society. Okay? The power defined by J.S. French and I.K. Raven in 1959 is control of pay or promotion. I want that promotion. That promotion will give me higher pay. So I'm going to be cushy with the boss. Ma'am, you need anything? Water? May I do your work? I will set a report for you. You carry on. You go out for a break. Okay? Power of dismissal. Some people feel good. It gives them a feeling closer to God that I can define lives of others. You are sacked, done. You are sacked. I'm going to sack you. I'm going to throw you out of the job, okay? And you feel the consequences. Which means I'm supporting my inherent feeling of inefficiency. There's a big gap, void inside me. There's a big void inside me. I don't feel good by myself. I need externals to feel good. I need people to tell me that Deep, you are good, to feel good. Okay? I need to do external things like sacking him or rewarding him to feel powerful. And I do it just for that. So this part, power of dismissal, is very important when you have layers in your department. That is, under you have supervisors, under whom you have got your other staff. So it is very critical that you conduct a regular skip level of your staff to find out how your supervisors are doing, how they are treating their staff. Formal position or responsibility. Vice President Operation. The designation gives me power. I am the Vice President Operation. And I flaunt it on my door. I flaunt it when I talk about myself. I flaunt it when I interact with someone junior to me. I am the Vice President Operations and you do what I tell you to do. Okay? So these are all power factors. Identify. Just close your eyes and identify, do you have people like this in your office? One person admires another and copies their behavior. This is good actually, in one way. That I like my manager Yasmin. I like the fact that she sends out a report on time. I like the way she works on Excel. I like the way I like the way that she knows formulas. I want to learn that. I want to copy her. I want to be like her. It's good in a good way, but it's bad in a bad way. If I see that she's playing politics, if I see that she's a power-hungry woman, and me, her junior, I would also want to be like her. Okay? Possessed by people who are respected for knowledge or ability. There are people in your team who do critical work, irrespective of their designation. Some work which only they can do. Okay? And they know it. That nobody else is there in the organization who can do it better than me. So they have also a format of pride. Without me, it will not work. Okay? Comes from controlling the flow of information. Now this is another very critical and funny thing. I want to control the flow of information, and this happens mainly with the new guys. Your name is?
Reb.
Raib.
R-E-B. Reb.
Reb.
Yeah.
Okay, Reb has joined the organization. I'm a junior staff. I'm not a very senior guy, I'm a junior staff. And Reb is going through his induction. Reb is going through his induction. And during the break time, I meet Reb at the smoking corner or at the cafeteria. Hi Reb, hi, how are you? What's your name? Reb. Good. You joined today? Excellent. So, where do you come from? He tells me where he comes from. Ah, you come from that country? The things are different here, you know. It's a tough world here. Who's your boss? Halida? Tough lady, be careful, huh? She doesn't like this, she doesn't like that, and last month she has sacked someone like for these things. The HR manager? Oh, he's a bastard. He will never give you a fee on time. You don't ever go to him with your problems. He'll never solve it. See, even before Reb has actually had the interaction with these people, I am trying to tell or may I use the word influence, Rev, about the people. I like to control the flow of information. And this happens mainly with the junior staff. Okay? They want to have this feeling of importance, that I am an information center. Okay? But what the harm it does is that even before Rev has gone out and interacted with his line manager or the HR manager, Rev has already formed a sort of an opinion. A wall has been created by me. If Rev is mature enough, he'll think that this guy is bullshitting. But in most cases, it doesn't happen like that. He goes and approaches his line manager with that block. Oh my God. I remember what he told me. Now this is politics. And ladies and gentlemen, as I said to you, do not use the word communication, use the word talking. If you're not talking to your people, at least your department people on a regular basis, interaction, team outings, team meetings. I will not use the word team meeting, team gathering. Okay? On a regular basis, you will not be able to point out who is doing all this. Held by people who have access to others' importance. I have the access key, or I have the password for the server. I have the password for the HR systems. I'm an IT technician, not a very senior guy. But I act like one. If you call me for the password to an HR system for some work which you need to do, not for your personal thing, I will act pricey. Why do you need it? Have you got the approvals? Can you send me a copy of the approvals? Well, we can't just give it out to you like that. I'm sorry. Can you ask him to call me up? I'm unnecessarily trying to harass you. Now understand this. Don't get today. This is an awareness session. Understand this, that these people are doing it for a lack of self-esteem. Don't react. Proact. If it's in your department, you can handle them by talking to them. By Yasmin had used this word guide. By guiding them. But if it's from a different department, you can trade.
Can you just go back?
Yeah.
I've missed the formal position or responsibility.
Formal position or responsibility. I'm the AVP operations, and I throw my designation on you for everything. Okay? It's like, as kids, the guy who carried the football always got to be the striker. Okay? He would never be the goalkeeper. If you remember, boys, if you remember, as when we were growing up, okay? So guy who had the football, he would always be the striker. If you tell him that you be the goalkeeper, he will say, sorry, I'm going home. You get your own ball. Okay? So that is position of responsibility. Now this is what the definition tells you. Just take a look at it. Don't get drowned in it. Okay? The best use by Thomas Hardy, the use of power. Have you seen Spider-Man? The new Spider-Man.
Yes.
Now I have probably seen Spider-Man, or I would say I was forced to see Spider-Man see my son for about 89 times. Okay? In the hall and at home. So one thing I found this new Spider-Man said, which very, very applicable to this module is, with great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. So if you are in a position of power, which you will be, of course, as department heads, as organization heads, today or tomorrow, you need to tattoo this into your head, that with great power comes great responsibility. Power doesn't destruct. Power constructs. And this is the message you need to tell your teams. this is the two kinds of organizations, political system: unitarism and pluralism. Organization is perceived as an integrated and harmonious system, viewed as one happy family. Unitarism, ideal. Okay? As written in the religious books. Management and staff and all members of the organization share the same objectives, interests, purpose, etc. Pluralism. Organization is perceived as being made up of powerful and divergent subgroups. Now, you will find this pluralism concept usually in small organizations. Big corporate houses do not have this, because out there, the mission, the vision, and the values are very clearly defined. They have HR policy audits. They have structured compensation surveys and employee satisfaction surveys. But let's talk about a 50-member organization, 50 employee team, okay, under one managing director. So you might find this, each with its own legitimate loyalties. I am loyal to my boss, or I am loyal to the power center as I have identified in the organization. The HR director is a very powerful man. He is very close to the MD. So I always stay away from him. I always try to be nice and soft and polite with him. I always open his car doors whenever I'm around. Because I know the PowerPoint. It's very easy. You know, like if you're staying, if you look at the family as a unit, okay. Now let's say the father usually is the angry man. He's a tough guy. He's strict. Probably he's home for about 3 hours or 4 hours in a day. Okay. Now the kids, as kids, have already identified the PowerPoint. Okay. The father is a tough guy, PowerPoint. The kids will never go to the father to tell them that, like, we would want to go to the beach. They will go to the mom and say, Mom, can you please tell father to take us to the beach on Friday, please? Would you please talk to father? Right? We always identify PowerPoints. It's there. There's some sensor, some radar inside our head. Okay? And you will also understand the PowerPoints. But you need to, on the basis of this, you need to identify which section does he fall into. Is he using his power to construct, or is he using his power to destruct?
Again, unitarism.
This one?
Unitarism.
This is unitarism. Organization is viewed as one unit. Everybody is same objectives, same policies for everyone. But pluralism, different policies for different people. You have got good wasta with the power guy. So you can punch in half an hour late. Okay? Nobody will tell you much. I don't have that wasta. Okay? So after 2 days of punching in late, I might get a CAP, a corrective action letter. Now these are the power dimensions. This is just FYI, don't get confused. Decision-making resources. The power is exercised as individual or group makes decision or forces others to agree with them. There is a PowerPoint or a power hub. Who decides what's going to happen? One of the best examples that you see, that if you are deciding on the company annual day, what do we do on our annual day? You'll see, one group will say we'll do this, and that ultimately stands as the decision. Okay? Even in recruitment, if 5 people are sitting in for recruiting, the PowerPoints, they will decide that, okay, let's hire that candidate. And even if the candidate is not suitable, that candidate gets hired. Non-decision making processes, individual or group controls the decision making process in terms of process, agendas, participants, and venues, so that some decisions are not to make. Okay, example, schedule a meeting at a time when opponent in a decision.
Doctor, someone knocking the door.
Yes.
Lunchtime.
1:31.
We were trying to have lunch at 1:30 to 2:30. Okay? Schedule a meeting at a time. Okay? Schedule a meeting at a time when opponent is in a decision about hiring new staff, will be on leave. Another example about this non-decision making process is the big boss, he comes to office at 2. Okay? Why he comes to office at 2, nobody knows. Nobody has the guts to question it. And the day ends at 5 o'clock. And he will call all the meetings at 5 o'clock. Okay? I want all the managers to be in the meeting room at 5 o'clock. We'll have a meeting on this. He comes in at 2 o'clock. Only God knows why he does that. But he'll call everybody at 5 o'clock without understanding that you have been working from 8 o'clock. Meaning, individual or group is able to influence the perceptions or attitudes of others by managing meaning. As I gave you this example, that she is a tough nut. She is not a nice person. She is very hard on Egyptians. Okay, she doesn't like British. She's more favorable towards the French people. She doesn't like Indians. The meaning. Distorting the meaning, which is not true. System. Now the system as a power, in this case, individual or the group behaves in a particular way because they unconsciously accept the values, traditions, customs. Now this is the most healthy way of doing it. System is nothing but the organization as a whole. You have one power. You have one mission, one vision, one set of values. You have one set of policies for everybody. As you see the example, the acceptance by employees that it is the right of managers to make all decisions. In some cases, nowadays, organizations are changing from that. Especially, I can tell you about IBM because I've worked there, they have this suggestion box where anybody can suggest a process improvement or a policy improvement. And if your policy, if your suggestion is accepted, you also get a reward. Not cash, but recognition that he is a man who suggested this. Anything. It can be from the menu in the cafeteria to a operation policy. Anything. Power in people management. How is the acquisition and the use of power relevant to people management? Can someone say that? How would you use the power in the organization in terms of people management? What do you have identified, all of you, question to all of you, you have identified there are power nodes, okay? There are power situations in the organization. How would you use it? What would you do?
Fairness. Has to be.
Taking decisions.
You are a department head, you are not the CEO. You are a department head or a line manager. How would you use that power node? You cannot control everything. You cannot change the policies completely. You cannot change the procedures. You cannot change the complete organization culture. Just your department. Now answer me.
Support, corrective.
Scope of?
The strategies and the mission of your department or general
Okay.
organization.
Yes?
I mean, I divide the work as per the people under me. Like I see each one in the department capable of work, and I just give him the proper task according to
Okay.
the activity of the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give them what else?
I mean, like that delegation.
You'll try to find out?
A win-win.
How?
With applying the policies, but without insulting anyone or taking.
But if you become too nice, they might roll over you also. Yes, you were saying something?
Delegation.
Delegation.
Firmness.
Is it only firmness, Dima?
Well, it's the main factor.
Yes.
You have to be firm.
There is a word. The world has forgotten that word. The word is assertive. Okay? And there is another parallel word that is running the circuits now is aggressive. Okay? The difference between assertive and aggressive you'll see if you go to any of the Facebook posts which are talking about politics or sensitive issues like religion. Okay? Feminism. Now you will see that how aggressive people can become when it's not something that they do not like. I have seen people who have been friends for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They stop seeing each other just because of a disagreement on the Facebook. We have stopped being assertive because